You know Andrea Savage from shows like Beep, Step Brothers, I'm Sorry, and now she's part of Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe, which is now streaming on Paramount Plus. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thrilled to be here, Rudy.
So when Mike Judge came to you with this project, what were your first initial thoughts of being part of a Beavis and Butthead project?
Honestly, my thought was some things just make sense. This just worked. I did a podcast that was, had the word butthole in it that I created a couple years ago. So I was like, I feel like this is a match made in heaven, really.
The character of Serena. Tell us a little bit about her and how she interacts with Beavis and Butthead.
Well, she is the captain of the Space Shuttle Endeavour, and she believes she is taking these up-and-coming science nerds basically to have the biggest adventure that they could have and bringing them up into outer space to help dock with the Mir space station. And they think they're going to have sex with her. And there's a miscommunication, clearly. She asked if they want to do it in space. And they thought they meant do it as in have sex in space. So, these guys have been trying to get laid for decades and they're still trying.
In 2022, they're still trying.
Yeah. Well, by the way, that was 1998. And then they fall through a black hole. You can imagine the jokes there. And then we're in 2022. I'm now the governor of Texas, and they're still think that they're going to have sex with me. They do not back down.
You've done plenty of animated voices, in the past. Tell us a little bit about, creating this character and what was it like? Were you with other, Gary Cole? Were you with Mike Judge doing it, or was everybody, because of COVID, was everybody separated?
Everybody was separate, and everyone was over Zoom. So I did work with Mike, but not with him reading the characters, just him, directing and hands-on with the thing. No, I didn't get to work with anyone. And I know Gary Cole and Nat Faxon and all these great people and Tig, and I didn't get to see or work with any of them, unfortunately.
Well, maybe for the next time, maybe if there's another sequel that everybody could be in the same room together.
Oh, wouldn't that be so fantastic?
As far as being, the captain and being the governor, and then playing, the president on Veep, what's it like having these leadership roles in these different? I mean, obviously they're not the same kind of projects, but having these leadership roles in different capacities.
Again, it just feels like it makes sense for me to be in control and telling everyone what to do. That sits well with me, as my family will tell you. I like the leadership roles. I think it's fun.
They are fun. So Beavis and Butthead, they have their AC/DC and their Metallica shirts. If you were to have a band shirt that you would wear in an animated series, who would be your iconic band that you would have on you?
I would go 90s Tribe Called Quest.
Very nice, very nice.
A little 90s hip hop. Yeah, I'm that lady.
As far as I saw you on Stephen Colbert talking about your husband walking on glass, I've been intrigued ever since I saw it live. I've only seen it one time at Coney Island. That was the only time I've ever seen that. Has it come out again? Was it just the one time?
Rudy, if you're looking for answers from me, I don't have them for you. I'm still confounded and don't understand how that was a thing I didn't know about him. It doesn't come up often, but when it does, it's weird.
But the car ride home, was it like any type of conversation of it coming out again, or just act like nothing ever happened?
Basically, we just went along with our lives. And then every once in a while, he brings it up like, oh, maybe I'll walk on glass at this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, can you even still do it? Like, I don't know. Is that something you age out of? Is that still safe? I don't know how he does it.
Tell me, do you think that that's kind of the secret to marriage, is having something like in your pocket, whether good or bad, just a trick and a secret that you can just pull out at any moment?
I do. I wouldn't necessarily recommend everyone starts walking on glass. Maybe you could do a less insane secret, but I do think keeping a little something to the mystery.
To the mystery. Going back to Beavis and Butthead, obviously people grew up in the 90s watching the show and watching the first movie, and to hear the project coming back, what was it like to maybe have some of your fans on social media reach out to you to be like, you're part of my favorite 90s, animated series?
I think it's great. Like, listen, I grew up with them too. And I will say, as I was like, doing the voices and starting to see the animation, just seeing those guys there and their dumb laugh, and whatever, it just felt good. I don't know. There's just something like nostalgic, and they're still relevant. And that's what's weird. And I guess that makes maybe people like us who are aging going, maybe we're still relevant. But it's great. It's so fun, and it's fun to be part of something so iconic.
And then, a final thing here, as far you just mentioned the laugh. Obviously, you think of like, and when you're on a cruise ship and you see the boat, everybody does that Titanic pose that says, "I'm the king of the world." You mentioned the words Beavis and Butthead, and you automatically just start doing the laugh. Do you have to practice on the laugh? Was everybody doing the laugh around you, while you were doing this? Tell me about that.
No, but there was one thing which I don't know if they ended up using, where right as I was finishing, they were like, all right, now do your best Beavis and Butthead laugh for this thing, which I don't even know if they ended up using. And I was like, oh, easy. And then I started doing it and I sounded insane. I was like, I thought I just had it in me. I don't know what came out of me, but it was not Beavis nor Butthead. It's harder than you think when you start trying to do it.
I hope it's on a Blu-ray, special edition or DVD. So I'm going to buy it because I want to see if those comes out in the bloopers.
So, because it was not good. I hope other people did it much better than I did.
Hopefully, all the cast did it. I'm sure it sounds amazing.
I think all the cast did it. Yeah,
that is awesome.
It doesn't sound anything like it.
That just made my day. I just want you to know that's one of my favorite noises from the 90s, and that moment just made my day. I just want you to know that.
Great.
Andrea, thank you so much for your time today. Beavis and Butthead Through the Universe, now streaming on Paramount Plus.